Hi, I'm Hugh McColl, and I want to welcome you to Charlotte Center City. Things are happening as we speak. Public space, green space, trees, flowers, and people. What great cities are really all about.
I'm a native African, bringing a new way of appreciation. Discover this way, out of my mouth, out of my sense. Feel underground, radiate your mind, while echoing the sounds of our ancestors.
Lift off. That's good.
Welcome.
Okay.
Well, if one goes back to the 1970s, I used to look out of the 40th floor of the then headquarters of Nations Bank, really NCNB, and I would see nothing but empty parking lots. In fact, nobody thought anybody would develop anything north of the square. It just goes to show you how wrong people can be. I remember when we first started building 4th Ward in 1974, I had one of the local developers call me. He had been drinking at the time, and told me that I was doing a disservice to the Junior League, telling them that the land there would someday be worth 85 cents a foot. Most of it today goes for $85 a foot, if not $125 a foot. We're talking about the dirt, not the buildings. And in fact, we could get no one that was willing to develop there except the bank and through its Community Development Corporation, and ultimately Wrightsell Snyder.
The sounds of our ancestors.
Unbelievable what has gone on in 4th Ward and then spilled over into 3rd Ward. And perhaps one of the most important things that was done during that entire period was taking the junkyard out of the center city. That used to be a junkyard where we now have Johnson & Wales University dormitories there and the practice fields. Down on West Trade Street, there was nothing. It cost us $8 million. But when one thinks about $8 million for all that land, it's like, huh? What are you talking about? And not only that, but it allowed us to put in place the tax base behind there, which has probably paid the city back a gazillion times. And today, when we look out, we see Bank of America Stadium, we see the Residence Inn, the parking lot for the stadium. For instance, down here is where we'll have the baseball field and a park that will run up to the main drag of Tryon Street. Well, if one looks to the north and back to the east from where we're standing, you can see the work that went on for the 20 years after 1974. The new Bank of America Tower, which goes up some 60 plus floors. Of course, what came first was going up North Tryon Street was Harvey Gantt's masterpiece of Transamerica Center and 400 Church, where we have what it really is like a European office block with a park in the middle of it. One of the things I'm the most proud of that we did on the north side of town. Also, our public library is very, very important to our city, and while I can't see it from here, so is Imaginon, or the Joe Martin Center, as I like to call it, which is the children's library and theater. These are important aspects to our center city. I'm very excited about the fact that we're going to have a new park adjacent to the Imaginon and running north up to where UNCC is going to put their new building for their business school and their architectural school. Well, when one looks south, you can see a lot has happened in the last 5 years, really, maybe the last 10. First, the new Wachovia Center, what we thought was new, I guess it's to Wachovia Center, and now the new Duke Energy building going up right here. We have what I call the old Wachovia building, which is the white with the gold windows, and the other day I was stunned to see a Bank of America branch in there, which shows you that we really have integrated our city, because we have a Wachovia ATM across from the Bank of America up on North Tryon Street, and we have a Bank of America branch in what used to be Wachovia. So the city is really integrating. Almost everything uptown is new in the last 20 years. Now, a lot of people bemoan that, say we haven't saved any of our wonderful old buildings. I just think they never saw the wonderful old buildings because I never saw one. I mean, we're well rid of them, and I think we're going to have even better architecture going forward. Perhaps one of the most important sections of town that's now part of the center city is South End. If you start with our famous pink building, which we either love or hate, in my case, I like it a great deal because it's got my favorite sushi place there, Nico's. I think it's a great part of our city, and it will continue to grow. Now, one of the byproducts of our tremendous development has been, as I said, the elimination of all the surface parking lots. And if I had my way, I hope every one of them will disappear before I die. Now, what that requires then is we have to really have true public transportation. What we need to do is have the intestinal fortitude and the political willingness to go on and commit ourselves to continuing that rail out to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte and all the way out to Bruton Smith racetrack. Now, that needs to be done immediately, if not yesterday. Now, then additionally, I think we all agree that we need to start to work on a railroad connection going out to Mooresville and beyond, perhaps all the way to Statesville, to bring the massive number of workers that we have living out that way into the center city. I hope on the way to the forum that we build one to the airport so we can come into town in under 12 minutes. I can do it in 12. But that's in a BMW. I'd like to do it on a train. And we've come a long way in the last 20 years. Maybe it's 30 now. But we got a long way to go. And I think what's in front of us will be more exciting than what's behind us. We may be in an interlude at the moment, but you can bet your bippy that it'll continue to grow.
Welcome. Jelly. Welcome, people.